He's Judge Joe Brown. These friends took a road trip that turned into one bumpy ride.
She got her leg broken. You say you were basically her servant?
I was made to scratch her, feed her, bathe her.
That's such crap.
On this day, we're gonna do it the right way.
Judge Joe Brown wants to hear what happened.
You got busted on that.
I don't feel embarrassed at all.
Oh, you should. Take care of business.
I lent the money until you told me back.
You didn't say that with a straight face, did you? Yes, I did. You called yourself a man?
She told me to sue her. You can't prove.
You will pay her because we will get it. So I'm gonna do a little bit of Judge Joe Brown justice.
Judge Joe Brown.
In the courtroom today, former roommates who still have a few things in common. They each have a list of demands, and they each have hostages. Production assistant Charles McGarvey says his former roommate won't return his expensive guitar. Defendant Melissa Hore is countersuing for half the cost of a trip, car repair bills, and the return of property. Now, here's Judge Joe Brown.
What in the world is going on? You go first. Now, what is this, a Gretsch Tennessee Rose guitar? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
It's supposed to be a pretty decent guitar. Is that right?
It's the most beautiful guitar I've ever seen in my whole life. And I graduated from college, and the defendant was actually with me when I purchased it. I took the majority of the money that I had saved and been given by relatives for graduating. It was an arduous road to graduate from college, and I succeeded, and I purchased myself that beautiful guitar to help me into the world of rock stardom. Sadly, those dreams were cut short, so...
Why? Because she acquired a guitar?
Because she took it.
All you had to do was pay me.
What happened was we met in college. She was the roommate of a good friend of mine. To offset the cost of moving out here, we shared a U-Haul truck and drove from Boston, Massachusetts, here to Los Angeles. Basically, I made it clear from the beginning I had a certain amount of money to spend on this trip. And the trip from the get-go was made to be a far more extensive thing than I had intended for or planned for. We had to go through the backwoods of upstate New York to visit her friends. We had to stay in Las Vegas, which I made clear from the beginning I could not afford. She said, that's fine, we'll put it on my mother's charge card. And basically, Your Honor, once we got here, 2 days after we arrived in Los Angeles, Mel and I were driving around, and she said, if I could just get hit by a woman driving a Mercedes in Beverly Hills, I'd be set. Well, Your Honor, an hour later, she was hit by a woman in Beverly Hills driving a Mercedes. Might I add, the third time she has been hit by a vehicle.
Did you get hit by the Mercedes?
I don't know what kind of car it was, but I was...
Driven by an old lady in Beverly Hills?
It was not in Beverly Hills. It was in West Hollywood.
It was in front of the Beverly Center.
By the way, I know what...
What does this have to do with anything?
No, well, it's just...
She's an extortionist, Your Honor.
That's what his contention is.
I mean, I was there with you when you were taken to the hospital, and then, sadly, I was right next to her, Your Honor, for the weeks that followed when I was turned into
got her leg broken, and you say you were basically her
I was made to scratch her, babysit her, feed her,
I lived
bathe
with my
her.
sister. You were in the valley working and hanging out with Jen.
Stop. Who are you, by the way?
Yeah,
this is my good friend and roommate who was witness to the whole thing.
Come on up, stand next to him. I may go to you.
I eventually had to move in with my friend in Woodland Hills.
All right, now,
after all this began to happen.
You want your guitar back?
Yes, sir. And I want to pay her the money I owe her. I want this whole situation to be over with. Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the defendant. Why do you have this guitar? And by the way, you concede that you, while he was gone, went in his room and purloined the guitar and took it.
Well, he makes it sound like he was just out, which wasn't the case. He had actually stiffed me for money and
stiffed you for money, and he left his guitar there?
That's not true, Your Honor.
If I could start from the beginning, just to sort of, you know...
Please.
We had made... He, in the first place, asked me to move out here with him, saying that he didn't want to come alone and that he didn't want to pay for it by himself. So we agreed to split the trip in half.
Have you ever driven across country before?
Yes, I have.
How long did it take you to get from Boston to Los Angeles?
It took us about 12 days, but we were being very leisurely. Why? We spent 3 of those days in Vegas upon his suggestion.
Well, what did he spend?
You don't know anything. You weren't even there.
Quiet. Stop interrupting, both of you.
Sorry, sir.
What did he spend in Vegas if he had no money?
Well, he had $50 to start with, which he lost, and then borrowed $50 from my winnings, which he then also lost. We kept a log, which I can show you, which we logged every...
I'd like to see your log. Go ahead.
We logged every penny spent. It's in both in our handwriting, so that at the end of the trip, we could figure out how much he would owe me.
I asked her numerous times for copies of this log, Your Honor.
I've sent copies numerous
and I've never
times
received
to you
anything.
and your mother.
This is a log or a diary?
So
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
It's kind of like the money we spent and also like funny things that we saw or interesting things people told us or, you know, cool people along the way that, you know, we liked the way they did something, so we made a note of it. But the log does carry us from the day we left until the day we arrived.
Oh, how we fell in love with that waiter. Longish brown hair, held back for a visor. Long, 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 hot, heartful, tiresome, long, long, long walk to Caesar's palace.
Which I have to say, Your Honor,
Room 7722 is lovely and includes a bathroom to die for.
It was a palace, Your Honor, and I had been to Las Vegas several times. The defendant had not. It looked like we had to pass through Las Vegas anyway, so I didn't have objected.
Actually.
That's not the way I remember it, but I made it clear from the beginning I did not have money to stay in Las Vegas. I did not, especially not anywhere on the Strip.
And I told you to come directly to Los Angeles.
Well, ask this to you. If you didn't have the money and you wanted to come directly to L.A., why did you stay there 3 days?
Yes, Charles, why?
I'm asking you.
Me? I had no...
Oh, you had the purse
She had Mommy's charge card, Your Honor, and that's what it was.
Why did you put the money up?
I had my own money that I'd earned.
Did you pay cash or did you charge it?
I put the hotel on a credit card and then everything else was cash.
Was it your credit card?
It's got my name on it.
Who's the principal account holder?
The principal account holder is, in fact, my mother,
Your
but
mommy.
I've had to pay her back every cent that I've spent
Well,
on it.
if you'd had your own cash, would you have put up the cash?
Yes, I
3
would
days?
have, and have him pay me back half, which is what he promised. I wouldn't have put it up and paid his way. I'm not, like, you know, the ultimate generous
all right,
person.
one half. Now, what about the car situation?
Well, Your Honor, after we got to L.A., we didn't get an apartment together till October. So between September and October, he was staying with his friend and I was staying with my sister. And I was hit by a car. I did not intentionally get hit by a car. I actually am appalled that he would even say that.
Well, he says you mentioned it.
You know, I don't make it a habit of getting hit by a car. I've not been hit as many times as he said. And, Your Honor, I was injured actually pretty badly, and I would never...
He says you broke your leg.
I broke my leg. I also
So that's before you moved in with each other when you had the accident.
Correct.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown.
She followed me from room to room. She followed me into the bathroom, Your Honor, trying to talk to me. She would open my door in the morning and come flop into bed with me when I was trying to sleep.
That is such nonsense!
She was...
I can't even believe
Pardon
you.
me, but up my butt 24/7.
It's showtime after this.
Premature babies need extra care in the hospital and when they go home, especially in the cold and flu season. Preemies up to age 2 are at high risk from a potentially serious virus called RSV. Thousands are hospitalized every year. It can be prevented.
Help protect your preemie from serious RSV disease. For more information, contact your child's healthcare provider and visit rsvprotection.com.
We all do it. Now we don't have to. Introducing time-released odor protection from Secret. Secret Platinum Invisible Solid gives you 24-hour odor protection or your money back. It's still working, so you can stop checking. Secret. Strong enough for a woman.
Good morning, I'm Jaime Garza. Coming up today on KCAL 9 News at noon, who is the world's best poker player? Well, the only woman to compete in the championships. And wait until you hear just how much she won in the no-limit Texas no-hold'em game and see the hand she won it with. Join us today on KCAL 9 News at noon.
She punched me in the head.
This is untrue.
The tape tells the story.
The Perry Mason moments.
Next, People's Court.
Today at 1 on KCAL 9.
I had taken 3 years of electronics courses in high school, but when I finished, I knew I really wanted a career in computers. While attending ITT Tech, I was hired by a computer and technology consulting firm. I now work as a manager of information technology. My parents couldn't be prouder. I'm really quite happy. Technology is the future, and that's where I want to be.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future. To find out more, call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web.
Judge Joe Brown, the plaintiff in this case, says his ex-roommate is an extortionist. He claims she's holding hostage his expensive Gretsch guitar. Let's listen in.
Now, what about his contention that prior to the accident involving the property damage to your vehicle, you had broken your leg and that he was running your errands?
Well, Your Honor, in fact, he was not running my errands. He was doing things to procure an apartment for both of us, which was as much his errand as it was mine.
But it was for a joint purpose.
Correct. It was for a joint purpose. We had already gotten the apartment. He was submitting paperwork.
Excuse me. That makes it a, quote, joint venture. Then you become jointly liable for the financial consequences.
Well, that's fine, Your Honor, but he's offered to pay me nothing. And that's a joint venture, then he should split it.
Okay, what is your estimate on the damage to the vehicle?
I've got 3 estimates ranging...
Let me see them. Just pass them. No talk. Just pass them up to the solid.
I also have pictures of the vehicle,
2
Your Honor.
and 3. As do
actually what kind of a vehicle it is.
You can pass. Well, give me yours. You've got the small. You've got the large.
They were taken at night, which they're not so great, but
oh, don't worry, here's my picture.
The car's a hoopty, Your Honor.
Because you crashed it.
No, sir.
It was a hoopty before it was crashed.
It had been in numerous accidents. The inside
you know what?
was characterized.
It ran, and it had headlights, and it had blinkers.
Wait
after
a minute.
You crashed it?
You submit me an estimate for $3,437.
That's what it would cost to fix my car.
Ford Escort?
The Blue Book.
Your Honor, can I just explain how this came around? Is I asked him to pay me the Blue Book value of when he crashed it, which he said, no, go out, get it appraised, and I will pay to have it fixed.
I didn't say that, Your Honor.
You did say that on a phone call on your birthday.
She wanted to keep the car as well.
Because he said, if I'm going to pay for the damages, I want to own the car. That's not how it works.
I said if I was going, the way it doesn't work is if you pay for the full amount of a car,
it's
the person doesn't
you acquired a title to it. If you do that, you bought it. That's
exactly, Your Honor, and that was what my argument was.
Well, you're telling me he crashed my car.
If he pays off the full Blue Book value on it.
Well, he hasn't paid anything, so...
I'll bet you on the Blue Book that thing isn't even worth $1,700 in the middle of the whole thing.
Well, then fine, give me half of that.
How many miles on this vehicle?
It's got 100,000 kilometers. It's in kilometers.
She's from Canada.
You say that with such disdain, it disgusts me.
I was just mentioning it.
And you hate this country.
That's your defense.
Excuse me? How dare you make a statement like that, standing across from me? You shouldn't even be here.
Miss Holly, get me the Blue Book on this thing. What is it? $675 to $2,750.
I offered her $800.
And that's not even...
You didn't offer me anything.
Well, if he pays you the Blue Book value, he owns the vehicle. You got the title to sign over to him if I make him pay it?
No, but he damaged my car. Shouldn't he pay half?
No, he doesn't have to pay to have it fixed. If causing it to be repaired costs more than the vehicle's worth.
There's dents all over the thing.
Dents all over it.
I didn't crash. I crashed the front of it, Your Honor. There's dents on the top,
the medians on this bloody thing is about $1,300.
And she had just been in an accident before we left Massachusetts.
Another accident.
Ask her about that. Where's she got a payment from the insurance company?
I didn't get any payment from any insurance company. You're talking out of your... Talk about things you don't know. You claim things you have no knowledge of.
Did you get in another accident before you left
Just before we left.
Yes, Your Honor.
See?
Well, how much of this accident that you claim he's responsible for is...
Her mother gave her the money to spend elsewhere, which she did not spend on the car.
There was no money for that at all.
How much did you get on the last accident?
Nothing.
That's completely untrue, Your Honor. She is telling
How would you know?
Because I lived with you.
Because I lived with her, Your Honor.
You did not live with me in Boston. You're lying.
She got the money when we got to California. Her mother gave it to her to spend as she saw fit, which she did not see fit to spend.
I'm going to ask you a question. Now, you never had any romantic interest in her, did you?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
She had any in you?
I believe so.
Oh.
Yes. One of the main reasons...
You're so full of yourself.
One of the reasons I had to move out of the apartment to begin with, Your Honor, is that I could not get a moment's peace. She followed me from room to room. She followed me into the bathroom, Your Honor, trying to talk to me. She would open my door in the morning and come flop into bed with me when I was trying to sleep.
That is such nonsense.
She was...
I can't even even believe
Pardon
you.
me, but up my butt 24/7.
I cannot even believe you. The lies that are coming out of your mouth, I don't even know how you speak.
And, Your Honor, this is why I've brought my good friend with me. One of the reasons is that she was there and she saw the whole thing happen.
She was never there. She has never been a party to anything relating to this case.
I was in the car before the accident. I can tell you that it was all banged up.
Why were you in my car before the accident? Not
because
with
she
me.
was helping us move.
Yes, I was.
All right? Something that you were not doing.
And you've already acknowledged that you got in an accident prior
Your
to
Honor,
leaving
I never
Boston.
claimed the vehicle was in pristine condition, and in fact, when I had it checked out,
There's been an accident which puts the value down at the very bottom of the blue book.
It was $700. The blue book. Excuse me, I'm talking. It was $700. The blue book value, which is all I ever asked him for, which was the least at the time of the accident.
That's not for one previously involved in an
I paid for that. I paid for that.
Your Honor, she absolutely did not. I have a receipt where we took the car to a mechanic of her cousin's suggestion, and he checked out the engine and ascertained that there was nothing wrong with the engine.
Right, the engine was
that it was fine, and that the headlights needed to be replaced, or the bulbs and everything, which I paid that. I have that here. So there's nothing that needs to be done to the engine.
Which I gave you the cash
I then also, to the tune of $503, rented a car, which I never asked her for any money, because I did wreck her car. I'm not saying I didn't.
I never drove your friggin' rental car, because you rent a car has nothing to do with me.
She had a broken leg, Your Honor, at the time, but I used said rental car to go from one side of this big city to the other. I didn't have a job at that time. I was doing it so that I could get an apartment for the two of us.
Well, if you had just asked, my sister would have lent you her car, so
your
you're
sister is
fine.
one of the biggest on the face of the earth. She would not have done
How dare you?
All right? And
How dare you even call someone a bitch? I'm not even here to answer back. That's so wrong.
We'll be back with more Judge Joe Brown in a moment.
I kind of have a feeling Three's Company is very applicable in this situation.
Yeah, only he's really gay.
I'm sorry. And you're a phone sex operator, so...
No, I'm not.
Well, you were when I knew it, because she couldn't get a job stripping.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by...
In the world of digital cameras, there are 4 great names, but only one owns the name, the official digital camera of the Internet, Pentax Optio.
Yeah, I'm calling about my car insurance claim. And since you're like the 100th person I talked to,
My claim number is 54737-85Q. Name Mark Powell with 2 L's. Yes, it was a fender bender. No, it wasn't.
Hey, think easier. Think Progressive. We give you one person who's responsible for your claim from start to finish. So it's easier to get back on the road. Go to Progressive.com.
There's one thing I don't get here. If he gets it, she gets it, they get it, why don't you get it? The Verizon Freedom with DSL package. It all starts with super-fast DSL, now at our lowest price ever when it's part of this package. Now with MSN, so you can experience the internet like never before. Listen to tunes, stream videos in a lot less time than dial-up. You also get unlimited anytime calling, across town, across state, across the country, even to Canada. Plus services like caller ID and home voicemail on one bill for one low price.
For the fastest way to save over $300 every year, call 1-800-274-9845. That's 1-800-274-9845.
You get everything. Big savings, the freedom of unlimited calling, and DSL. Tweaking morph nodes on 3D models.
Verizon. Make progress every day.
Every office is full of computers. Every business relies on them. If you can fix or network computers, a lot of companies may want to hire you. UEI can train you to be a computer systems technician in just 8 months. You'll learn to troubleshoot, repair, and maintain computer systems. You can have a career you love and get paid for doing it. Call UEI for a campus tour or a free brochure today.
1-800-DIAL-UEI.
If you've been in a car accident or any kind of serious accident, call the Injury Helpline. An attorney may be able to get you money. Money for your injuries and money for your pain and suffering. The law limits the time you have to file your claim, so call the Injury Helpline now and speak to a lawyer near you for free. Call 1-800-343-7001. That's 1-800-343-7001. Get the money you deserve. Call now.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The defendant in this case says she took her former friend's guitar because he left her with a stack of bills. Let's listen in.
Go ahead.
On the day that we went, or that I was in the accident, I was going to check out an apartment that I didn't want and couldn't afford on the insistence of Mel.
That's that's such crap. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do, especially when I'm laid up half unconscious on pain medicine because I was hit by a car. I'm really in a position to coerce you or to influence you to do anything.
You loved it.
He ran
Your
off
Honor.
the city for you, Mel.
I scratched her, Your Honor.
With a crochet needle.
Yeah.
With a crochet needle. He scratched inside her.
And she would do things like, I would be sitting next to her on the couch, and she would go, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would hand her something. I'm sorry. I was trying to demonstrate.
It's just a mockery to
Everybody
him.
wake
He
up.
doesn't understand the fact that I'm out like a substantial
Your Honor, it is absolutely not a mockery
him.
to me. I'm the one that filed the suit because I couldn't take this any further.
All you ever had to do was pay me the money you owed me. Your Honor.
I kind of have a feeling Three's Company is very applicable in this situation.
Yeah, only he's really gay.
I'm sorry. And you're a phone sex operator, so...
No,
yeah.
I'm not.
Well, you were when I knew it, because she couldn't get a job stripping.
Can I continue with, like, the second half of my claim? I just want to have everything out.
Those all the CDs, excuse me, the videos.
The videos, and
which
also...
he took from me.
The 2 books.
I did take from her accidentally when I moved out. I've said from the beginning I had them and I wanted to return them. I do have, however, a list of CDs that her hippie friends who were staying in the apartment. When I got back to the apartment, Your Honor, my paintings were being used as coffee tables. There were pizza boxes everywhere. There were beer bottles. There was some transient sleeping on the couch.
Transient.
You know, and
you know what? I don't go around insulting your friends. I would appreciate it if you didn't insult mine. People you don't even know who are better
transient is
people
not
than you could ever
necessarily
be.
a derogatory remark.
Transient means he has no home and he's sleeping in my apartment.
Did he have a home?
Yes, he has a home.
Well, he was sleeping in your apartment. I don't know if he has a home or not.
Your Honor, the actual part I'd like to get to is the rent part. Let me just rewind a bit. In December, I was planning a trip home, at which point I wasn't going to be here for January 1st, and he was going to be staying alone in the apartment. Okay, I wrote him a check on that date, December 17th, for my rent for January 1st, which he cashed on the 19th. And never paid the rent. When I returned in January, there was an eviction notice on my door.
That is the truth, and that was not ever my intention.
That you defrauded me of my rent money and then didn't pay, which is a crime.
Judge Joe Brown makes his ruling after this.
If you carry this card, you want this card. The AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan card. Even with Medicare, you could still pay nearly half of your medical bills out of your own pocket. If you're 65 or over, this card can help pay for what Medicare doesn't. This is one powerful card. It represents the only Medicare supplement plan endorsed by AARP. Why an AARP Medicare supplement plan? Because you can keep your own doctors without any referrals and no claim forms. Prescription drug coverage is available, and AARP group rates keep prices affordable. Call to get free information about these plans underwritten by United Healthcare Insurance Company. There's no obligation, and it's easy to switch to an AARP plan. Call and learn about our service extras, and you'll also get this free booklet. Call now even if you're not an AARP member yet, and join more than 2 million members enjoying the benefits of this powerful card. Call now.
Did you know that the video game industry now makes more money than the movies? In fact, some Hollywood studios are even forming video game divisions.
Incredible? Yes! And growing sales are fueling demand for the next generation of game designers. That means there's only one thing holding you back from becoming the Spielberg of video games.
The right education.
Westwood College now offers training for video game careers. For a brochure, call 888-753-7430. Call now.
At J.G. Wentworth, we know that receiving a structured settlement can often be frustrating, especially when you need cash now. Structured settlements, it's your money, and J.G. Wentworth knows that you can't always wait. So call the number on your screen and get cash now in a lump sum you can use. Call, and one of our representatives will be glad to help. J.G. Wentworth, money in the bank. Call now. Call 1-866-CASH-582.
Don't get caught without car insurance. Call Solo, a California licensed insurance broker, for car insurance as low as $27 a month. Solo can help you protect yourself by shopping for car insurance with companies such as Infinity, a leader in fast claim service. Call Solo now for your free quote and enter to win a new Jeep. Solo can get you the lowest rate. Car insurance for as low as $27 a month. Call now for your free quote and you could win a new Jeep. 1-800-667-8144.
Does your ex owe you money? Call 1-877-JOE'S-LAW or on the internet, JudgeJoeBrown.com.
I'm looking at this. We've got a damaged vehicle. That would put you at the bottom of that blue book, so you'll get $675. He now will get title to the vehicle. We'll see to it that
But I don't want to give up my car.
That. No, you don't get any money for it then. Because if he pays off the entire value, then he owns it.
Well, shouldn't he pay me half since he damaged it? And he
you
was
want half?
partly
Okay.
responsible?
$337.50. That's one half. So let's see. Miss Holly will take care of the exchange. Miss Holly over there, by the way, retrieves the guitar, retrieves the miscellaneous items, pass them on to the defendant, cross-complainant, those
Your
items,
Honor,
and pass that to the plaintiff over
I do want to
here.
be honest that I have not paid her my half of the U-Haul truck.
Well, I haven't gotten there yet.
All right, I'm trying to,
Now, what do you say you owe her?
She has yet to send me a receipt for the U-Haul, but she sent me a list some time ago saying that $630 was half of it. I don't know.
No, wait, Your Honor.
No, wait, what?
I had to pay
You don't want that?
$1,500, and I'd already paid him $600 for the rent. I was hoping to get that full $1,500 back.
You get $1,250, and that's what you're gonna get. Well, wait a minute. I had 25 more. That's $1,275.
Thank you.
People step out the door to your right. At least they had fun on their cross-country trip. After that, the friendship kind of went downhill. The judge orders the guitar returned and the money paid to the defendant. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on Judge